So, some of you people are really wearing me out. You know that? I've been hearing about all these New Year's resolutions. I'm going to build my dream home. I'm going to go to the gym every day. I'm going to eat better. I'm going to get fit. I'm going to lose 50 pounds. You guys are wearing me out. All I'm up here trying to do is figure out the answer to the age-old question, what's for supper? So I thought I would bring you along with me. This morning, I'm going to make pasta. Now, you don't have to overthink this. Okay, leave that for the professionals. It's a super simple recipe and it's a super simple process. I really enjoy making pasta. You're going to see some of the gear that I have set up in my kitchen. So let me go ahead and just spin you around and show you what we're going to be using for this, okay? So, again, super simple. I'm using a food processor, all right? And these are our ingredients. Look at that. It couldn't get any more simple. I have about 3 cups of flour right here. I'm probably not going to use all of it, but that's for the recipe, for the pasta itself, as well as for dusting my surfaces and keeping that pasta nice and floured as I work it. Okay, and then we have 3 fresh butt nuggets. We have a 1/4 cup of water plus 2 tablespoons. And here I have about a teaspoon of salt. Okay, I'm going to talk about the salt more in a minute here. Something to keep my hands clean. And my handy dandy little pasta machine. It's a hand crank dude. Because we all need to work out more, right? Anyway, so let's get this party started, shall we? Now I wanted to mention a little bit more about the salt. So with the salt, you don't want to use a kosher salt when you're making your pasta. Now you can use sea salt, you can use Himalayan. I'm using just plain old table salt, okay? It's one of those things that's kind of to taste. So if you are on a restricted diet where you require a low sodium, I'd leave it out. Because nobody wants to die to death, okay? New year, new you, not new year, dead you. Got it? You do you, boo. Okay, so why you don't want to use kosher salt? You don't want to use kosher salt because it doesn't break down very well. Okay, it kind of tends to keep its big chunky happy self. You don't want that. Okay, and and I know that there is a huge debate about whether to salt the pasta or salt the water. You could do both if you want to. For my preference, I salt my pasta as I'm making it. And I'll add maybe a little bit of salt, but I tend to add oil to my water. When I boil my pasta, it keeps the pasta from glumping together. All right, so we're gonna get going with this. Now, you don't have to overthink this. You know what, I'm gonna drop you down so you can watch how this looks as I'm going, okay? So, here, down, fabulous. Can you see? See the processor? Yeah, okay. So, we're gonna put our flour in here. I've got everything already set up and everything. Now, like I said, I've got about 3 cups of flour in my mixing bowl, or in my measuring bowl. The recipe itself calls for between 2 cups and 2.5 cups, but it just depends on what your humidity is in your kitchen, you know, all those things. What we're going for here, we want a dough that is pliable, cleans up off of the sides, and is not sticky. You don't want bits sticking to your fingers, okay? So that's what we're striving for. All right, into here, okay, we're gonna add about, loosely, about 1/3 of the total salt that I have. It's about a teaspoon of salt, if I didn't mention that. So I'm going to add about 1/3 of it. Okay, and then I'm going to add 1 egg. Oh, that's beautiful. Roll that beautiful egg footage, Mervyn. Okay. Now I don't want you to go deep, so maybe plug your ears or turn the volume down. Or you know what? Maybe through the magic of editing, I'll do it for you. We're going to add a little bit of the water, guys. Just wanted to get that egg. Oh, she's a special kind of brilliant, you know that? Well, there go my Michelin stars. Oh, what a twink. Okay, so let's go again. You just want to get that egg really incorporated in. Number 2. Repeat the process. Add another 1/3 of the salt. Blimey, Dick. Yep. I'm going to get that last egg in. Okay. So take a look down in here so you see what I'm talking about. See, it's all pulling away from the sides. That's what we want. Now this dough's going to get a little tricky from here. I hear a lot of people talk about making pasta by instinct and by feel. And a large part of that's true. It is a lot by feel. But if you've never done this before, how are you going to know what it's supposed to feel like? So I'm going to simplify all of it for you. First thing we're going to do is take some of our flour here. We're going to put it out on our work surface. So here's what we're going to do first. I'm going to take you guys and kind of reposition you. Okay. Don't be afraid of being too generous with your flour. The flour is the absolute star of the show in this. Now, if I really want to amp up my pasta, I would be using 00 flour. And I'd be sprinkling my surface with semolina. But today, I'm just doing a basic recipe just to show you guys how it's done. See, now this dough coming out of the food processor is way too wet. Way too wet, way too shaggy. So, this is why we get really generous with the flour on the counter. Now, this may not look like a whole lot of pasta, you know, a whole lot of dough, but I promise you, it's gonna make a bunch. So, it's similar to kneading bread, except that it's a stiffer dough. So I push out and I just fold it on top of itself, okay? What we're doing is we're getting all that gluten happy and activated. Okay, just a little flip and a little. So you really want to work this out, because what you're going for is a super glossy, really pretty, silky texture. All in all, guys, it's going to take about 8 minutes of doing this to get it where it really needs to be. Keep your surface floured. Okay, so that was about 8 minutes of kneading it, getting it where we needed it to go. Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to portion this out. Now, like I said, it doesn't look like it's a whole lot, but this is going to make a bunch of pasta. I love doing stuff like this because filling my pantry with things that I've made, I know what's in it. I know how it was made. It's really gratifying. All right, now, what we're gonna do, all of these balls, all these happy little balls, we're gonna wrap them individually in plastic. Until we're ready to use them. We don't want them to dry out. Give them all a little good smush. Get them all happy. Get all that gluten going. Which I guess isn't a good thing if you're on a gluten-free diet, but if you're on a gluten-free diet, you already know this is not the video for you, probably. So it's just a matter of repeating the process over and over again until you use up all your dough. So again, you roll it out. You're going for a rectangle shape. Doesn't have to be perfect. And you're going to fold it like an envelope. Fold it into thirds. Who doesn't love an envelope? I love getting packages. I love getting happy little cards. Makes me happy. Making pasta reminds me of that because they're cute little packages. I know. Stop messing around in the kitchen. Blah, blah, blah. All the way back to one. I'm going to run it through. I'd say 1 through settings, if you're using a press like this, and they all have the same markings. But if you're using one like this, I suggest going 2, even 3 times on settings 1, 2, 3, and 4. It just makes for a better texture, I think. We're up to 2. See, it's just that simple. So, I'm pretty sure a lot of you who are watching this right now also tuned in last night. On Thursday nights, there's what's called the Homestead Hangout. So where a lot of the homesteading channels around here, they all go in a row, starting at 4 o'clock. Anyway, it's an entire evening full of a lot of fun and fellowship, and we bounce around to each other's channels, and it's a great deal of fun. Well, the ladies of the Homestead Hangout got together and decided they were going to start a Bible study. I didn't know beforehand what they were going to be digging into first. I just grabbed my handy dandy study Bible and I was ready to rock and roll. I was hoping that they were either going to do a focus on Ruth or Esther. Well, they started with Esther. And now, whether you read the Bible or you don't, whether you believe the word or don't, that's up to you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm going to tell you, this chick right here, I believe it. And the book of Esther is one of the most fascinating, multifaceted books of the Bible, my opinion. It's the only book in the Bible that makes no mention of God anywhere. Anyway, if you're a new believer or even an old believer, crack open that Bible and check out Esther. It's a lot of fun. So the ladies of the Homestead Hangout are doing a 10-week Bible study on Esther. Esther has 10 chapters in it, so they're going for 10 weeks. And we're studying and talking about it, and so keep your eyes open for that. The channels involved are 9 Acre Family Farms, White Rock Homestead. I hope I'm going to get this right. Christine Mrs. Gillum Farms. And I'm forgetting somebody who was, oh yes, Not for Nothing Homestead. So any of those channels, check them out. Check them out on Monday nights at 7 o'clock Central. Oh, it was so much fun. Those are some, and they are all very interesting ladies. Super relatable. So check them out. That was a lot of fun. I'm already looking forward to next Monday. And this girl didn't used to look forward to Mondays. I look forward to it now. All right. And I'm just repeating the process. I showed you the process, and I'm just going to keep repeating it and keep repeating it and keep repeating it. Keep repeating it until I've used up all the dough. So I'm going to run through it again one more time. 2.5 to 3 cups of flour. I used all-purpose, nothing fancy. So 2.5 to 3 cups total, so that you've got enough to dust your surface and whatnot. 1 teaspoon of salt, more or less, depending. Maybe you have diet restrictions, right? A 1/4 cup of water plus 2 tablespoons. And about 1/2 teaspoon of salt. I already said that, didn't I? No, it was a teaspoon. Sierra bean dip, you did not just steal my pasta. She just stole my pasta right out of the press. What a naughty retriever. Out of the kitchen. Oh, you are so banished from the kitchen. You are no longer my sous chef. Now out of the kitchen. Out, 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 out. Be gone with you. I can't believe she did that, y'all. Just snagged it right out of the thing. Get out of my kitchen. No, you are on my naughty list now. It's a good thing. It's a good thing you got a year. No, absolutely not. Out of the kitchen. Out of the kitchen. Out. Bad dog. She stole it from me. So y'all, that little bit, those little few ingredients made all this pasta. And we all know how versatile pasta is. So I'm thinking with this pasta tonight, I'm going to make chicken Alfredo. I don't know who Alfredo is, but he had a heck of a good idea doing that. Okay, again, you're rolling it out. Not perfect, but you're shooting for a rectangle. You're going to fold it into thirds and run it through your press. Happiness is a big wad of pasta. One more time so the back of the room can hear us. No. Oops. Golly, there goes my Michelin star. Uno. Dos. Tres. I don't like how that one feels, so I'm going to go one more time on the number 1 setting. Up to number 2. Up to 3. Now guys, just a happy little tip here. If you're using one of these presses like what I have, push in on the dadgum handle. They slip out. So if you're enjoying our content, please consider hitting that subscribe button. It doesn't cost a penny, and it makes it possible for content creators like me to continue bringing you content that you enjoy. We would appreciate it. We love all our subscribers. And the other thing too, please feel free to comment, give feedback. You know, these, at least for our channel, we like to bring you the stuff that you're interested in. So if you tell us what you want, you get what you want, and we get to try new things. So what are your favorite pasta dishes? Drop me some comments below. Maybe give me some ideas. And what are some of your favorite pastas? Because while it's just a ton of fun to make plain old country pasta, wide egg noodle pasta, I am gonna do some videos on some different types of pastas to make. Rigatoni, tortellini, you know, those sorts of things. So let me know what kind of pastas you want to see. We can learn it together. Now I'm not going to let this naughty dog steal my pasta again. No. out. So I'm going to make a few of these nests, dry them that way. I'm running out of room on my rack. This is a super fun way of restocking your pantry. Like I said, it's very gratifying to stock your pantry with things that you've created in your own kitchen. So I'm just making sure that these are all separated nicely. I think my blades need to be sharpened. Just beautiful. Oh, it feels so good. It's a nice, hearty, simple meal. And I'm tired of trying to figure out how to make I don't care and I don't know. Eeh. That age-old question, what's for supper? Never thought I'd be spending retirement years focused on that one simple question. What's for supper? Where we used to live, we had no shortage of fine restaurants to choose from. So it was not uncommon for me to accidentally burn something. I have a superpower, y'all. I know how to turn a grilled cheese sandwich into filet mignon. Medium rare. It can be a little poop sometimes. But you know, I don't miss the restaurants. They're since 2020, it seems like, and I don't mean this as a slam against the mom and pop places. I really don't. You know, they took it the hardest. But some of the bigger restaurants, it seems like customer service as well as quality have pretty much dropped off. It almost feels like we're being taught to accept substandard and like it. And that's not how we roll. I would rather go out and spend $50 on quality ingredients and go home and make it myself. I know what's in it. I know how it's made. I know who's touching my food. I know who's being clean. You know, you don't have to spend a lot of money to have great food. You don't. What you need is some basic know-how. And I've got some basic know-how. So I put it to work. And, all right. I'm just going to keep rolling this through. This is a lot of pasta, y'all. You know what it feels like? It feels like that super soft material of your favorite shirt, the kind that you like to wear on a hot summer day. Yeah, it feels like that. All right, now another thing that I want to mention to you, I touched on it earlier. When you think that you have it rolled out thin enough, keep rolling it out, because you probably don't have it thin enough. It tends to stretch back on itself when it's been resting. So about when you think you've got it as good as you want it, go a little bit more. Trust me on that one. Don't you be eyeballing my pasta, Missy. All right. And cut it. See, I just cut it, right, to run through, and it's all springing back. So keep on pressing it, kids. And I just let it roll off onto my hand. Just like that. It's that simple, guys. All right. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please consider subscribing, hit the like, leave a comment. We appreciate you, all of you. This is a really fun journey, and you're making it possible for us to keep going, so we appreciate you. Let us know what you think, okay? So until we see you again, I want to wish you all the blessings, all the happiness, a joy so deep in your heart, nothing will shake it out of you. Keep looking up. Keep that attitude of gratitude. Say thank you. And we'll see you on the flip. Bye, y'all.